to this day, today, when you are wearing your gowns and hats, shining and agitated in anticipation of great ceremony. Today is the day when you stop being a student at the university and is the day to reflect on your achievements and thank your friends and peers, your tutors and lecturers, your family and close ones, all those who in many different ways contributed to your success. Today is the day that you were looking forward for during these 4 years of study. This is the day that crowns your hard work, hours of studies, sleepless nights, exam trepidation possibly in this very hall, but also lots of fun that you had with your fellow students at the societies, parties and sports matches, in Seaton Park or on the beach, in the hub or perhaps at the bobbin. Memory is a funny thing altogether because it always creates an image slightly improved, slightly brighter, happier, and maybe more enjoyable, and always sunny. Let these memories remain like that. For no matter whether there were rainy days, literally or figuratively, your experience at the university is the long-lasting one and the most exciting, and certainly one to be proud of. This achievement and the diploma that you will be holding in a few moments will be one of many accomplishments in your life, whether big or small. Wherever you go from here, in pursuit of these goals in life, you might move away from Aberdeen, possibly somewhere sunny and warmer, or you might decide to stay here because in these 4 years you got attached to Scotland and, like me, consider Scotland your home. Irrespective of where you will be, do rest assured that this university will always be proud of you and your achievements. Whatever you do in your life, after you leave this hall, wherever life will take you, whether to postgraduate studies, a new job, opening your own business, or pondering a little bit, we wish you success, the achievement of your dreams and fulfillment of your plans. You might not have plans yet, then enjoy this exciting moment to explore opportunities. For this moment of freewheeling is not going to last very long. It will be disingenuous of me to say that all doors will be open for you straight away. But it would be quite appropriate to say that it is in your power to open them. For I know that we have taught you not only the knowledge of the subject and the discipline, but also how to be creative, determined, and stubborn enough to be able to open those doors. Winston Churchill mentioned some time ago, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Wishing you courage to continue and all the best for the future. Congratulations and welcome to the 2017 graduation ceremony.
Thank you very much, Dr. Argonova-Lowe. Ms. Slater.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the degree of Doctor Honoris Causa, Mr. David Stein. There is a great tradition of LLB graduates excelling in business. Aberdeen graduates representing industry include Sir Dennis Henderson, former chairman of ICI, and in finance, Martin Gilbert of Aberdeen Asset Management, and now head of governors at the University of Aberdeen. Born in Aberdeen, David Stein was educated at Robert Gordon's College before studying here at the University of Aberdeen, graduating LLB in 1979. He and his family have had a long association with the University of Aberdeen, and the detailed biography is set out in the programme, but a few Further biographical details are in order on this occasion. Following graduation, David Stein opted to work in the field of investment and asset management, swiftly building a stellar international career, frequently located between the US and the UK, as well as undertaking extensive international travel, given his responsibilities for global portfolios. He is at the top of the investment management profession, currently at Cervino Partners and Good Growth Limited. David Stein's involvement with the University of Aberdeen in recent times started when he joined the board of the University of Aberdeen USA Development Trust and was pivotal in fundraising for a range of projects, including the prestigious and award-winning library, the Sir Duncan Rice Library, attending the royal opening ceremony in 2012. By that time, he had been appointed as a member of the University Court, and his term on court is ongoing. He has contributed to the governance of the university in challenging and changing times. But it is expected that David Stein's involvement with the university will continue through the court and the Development Trust and our good governance and growth throughout the 21st century. Vice-Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you for the degree of Doctor Honoris Causa, Mr. David Stein.
Ego te doctorum et magistrum honoris causa constituo, creo proclamo renuntio, et insignum caput tuum hoc polio orno quod et felix faustumque sit, deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Whitfeld.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you for the College of Arts and Social Sciences Undergraduate Award for Excellence in Teaching, Dr. Stuart Durkin. This award is being given in recognition of his high-quality, engaging, and inspirational teaching. Dr. Durkin was nominated by third-year students in Politics and International Relations. Students praised Dr. Durkin for his exceptionally innovative, thought-provoking, and inspirational teaching style. His lectures drew upon a wide array of course material and social media, and his ability to engage and motivate his students at all levels was highly appreciated. Supportive, approachable, and inspirational, his teaching style and methodology kept his students motivated throughout the course and beyond, and demonstrated his exceptional commitment towards education. Dr. Durkin, many congratulations.
Fantastic. Well done. This is what the TEF's about.
It is, absolutely.
Professor Hayes.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting to you for the award of benefactor to the University, Mr. James Milne. Mr. James Milne was born in Aberdeen and began life on the family farm at Tullis. But instead of working on the family farm, he decided to pursue a career in engineering and took an apprenticeship in agricultural engineering. Now, it was during this time that he identified the benefits of non-corroding materials, which was to be the start of his entrepreneurial life. James Milne established the Balmoral Group in 1980 with just 5 employees, designing, manufacturing glass-reinforced plastic products, and today employing approximately 500 people. The privately owned company provides design and manufacturing solutions to the global subsea, energy, civil and environmental engineering sectors. Now, Mr. Milne is a firm believer in driving technology to maintain Balmoral's competitive advantage in its own particular fields. The company's policy of research and development has been in place for many years, resulting in innovation, innovative materials, and unique processes have been developed by this company. And so it perhaps isn't surprising then that the Balmoral Group has been recognised at the very highest level for its success and has received an unprecedented 3 Queen's Awards for international trade in the last 7 years. Now, Mr. Milne, unsurprisingly, has been recognised. He was awarded the CBE. He has numerous honorary degrees from different universities and became a Deputy Lieutenant of Aberdeen City in January 2007. Now, I think very importantly, though, for patients with cancer, and for me as a cancer specialist, Mr. Milne is chairman of Friends of Anchor. And for those of you who are not familiar, ANCHOR stands for the Aberdeen and North Centre for Haematology, Oncology and Radiotherapy. And the Friends of ANCHOR, it's a fundraising body which supports cancer research and cancer care for patients here in the North East. It was established in 1997 and its chairman, James Milne, was the driving force. Friends of Anchor has been a long-term supporter, a major donor to the university, donating in support of research, of equipment, and has worked very closely with the cancer teams here. For example, in 2013, Friends of Anchor donated more than £200,000 to the Gene Machine. They donated £200,000 to fund a new cyclotron, which is vital for some of the most complex of scans that patients with cancer require. And if that isn't enough, they've donated endoscopes for use in the paediatric hospital, ultrasound machines, and that totals more than £2 million, a fantastic contribution. Now, in January of this year, to mark their 20th anniversary, the Friends of Anchor pledged £1 million to the university's Development Trust. And this was a key contribution to the School of Medicine, Medical Sciences and Nutrition. Ambitious proposal to raise more than £5 million to advance oncology research and support patient care here in the northeast of Scotland. And again, Mr. Milne is driving this forward. Well, not content with that, he also has provided further support in other areas of the university. £200,000 to the Aquatic Centre. The Milnes, through the J.S. Milne Foundation, also donated to the university to be an exhibition at Satrosphere called Planet Energy. And I could go on, but also, Mr. Milne, I'm aware, supports a large range of charities locally, and he does so anonymously. Vice-Chancellor, for these contributions made over a prolonged period of time and which have benefited so many and this university, I ask you to bestow on Mr. James Milne the Award of Benefactor to the university.
Fantastic, James. Congratulations. Thanks for all you do. Thank you.
Domini pro chancellariae, Domini doctores e magistri, e toto universitas, presento vobis hos candidatos, examine probatos ad gradum doctoratus in philosophia promovendos.
Nuentis in arte placat promoveri.
Ascendant Tara Jolie.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes a huic universitatae amplissimum Mindel te in philosophia doctorum et magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quod Felix Faustum quae sit, deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations.
David McBain.
Etse Creo.
Tanita Maxwell.
Etse Creo.
Jeremy Watt.
Etse Creo.
Item presenta vobis, hos candidatos, examine probatos ad gradum magistratus in scientia promovendos.
Inuense senatu placet promovere.
Ascendant Norma Giordinella.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes a huic universitatae amplissimum Mindel te in scientia magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quod Felix Faustum quae sit, deum optimum maximum precor.
Augustine Ofen Emu.
Etse Creo.
Nikki Farazal.
Etse Creo.
Isla Matheson.
Etse Creo.
Vivian Nemeth.
Etse Creo.
Item presento vobis hos candidatos examine probatos ad gradum magistratus in artibus liberalibus promovendos.
Inuense senatu placet promovere.
Ascendant James Cleese.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes a huic universitatae amplissimum Mindel te in artibus liberalibus magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quod Felix Faustum quae sit, deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations.
Courtney Duddy. Courtney Duddy.
Etse Creo.
Qui honoris meriunt ascendant Mimi Aukeson.
Etse Creo.
Connor Eckersall.
Etse Creo.
Justina Cairioneti.
Etse Creo.
Priska Mavinga.
Etse Creo.
Riti Songo Zachman.
Etse Creo.
Jessica Hayes.
Etse Creo.
Helen Fleming.
Etse Creo.
Katrina Burley.
Etse Creo.
Andrew Connell.
Etse Creo.
Catherine Brown.
Etse Creo.
Coralie Perrin.
Etse Creo.
Inke Retzlaff.
Etse Creo.
Alexander Solsted.
Etse Creo.
Elizabeth Adamson.
Etse Creo.
Evie Coleman.
Etse Creo.
Ruby Downey.
Etse Creo.
Leo Bernstein.
Etse Creo.
Veronica Chervenakova.
Etse Creo.
Ebba Anderson.
Etse Creo.
Ashmita Bhattarai.
Etse Creo.
Hannah Emmerling.
Etse Creo.
Christina Gurova.
Etse Creo.
Elsa Hele.
Etse Creo.
Yannick Nyberg.
Etse Creo.
Daniel Osmanen.
Etse Creo.
Lena Hart.
Etse Creo.
Stefan Pelev.
Etse Creo.
Francesca Gualco.
Etse Creo.
Linda Houston.
Etse Creo.
Zane Pukiani.
Etse Creo.
Tamara Abdi.
Etse Creo.
Ahmed Al-Khalaifi.
Etse Creo.
Rosanna Baird.
Etse Creo.
Dragos Barbu.
Etse Creo.
Catherine Borna-Mayer.
Etse Creo.
Jack Breslin.
Etse Creo.
Angus Caddick.
Etse Creo.
Eleanor Kavanagh.
Etse Creo.
Sean Cleary.
Etse Creo.
Christopher Cromar.
Etse Creo.
Molly Davidson.
Etse Creo.
Dennis Denisov.
Take Rio. Professor Hutchison, promoter of graduands.
Item presento vobis hos candidatos examine probatos ad gradum magistratus in artibus liberalibus promovendos.
Nuente senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendant Alexander Eady.
Ego e auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi princim pesam huic universitatea amplissimum Middlesedunt, te in artibus liberalibus magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodet felix fastumque sit, deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations.
Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott.
Take Rio.
Esther Finney.
Take Rio.
Alistair Fraser.
Take Rio.
Freya Gowans.
Take Rio.
Grant Heath.
Take Rio.
Varia Hristova.
No worries. Take Rio.
Lisa Pirsku.
Take Rio.
Susan Hootinen.
Take Rio.
Vila Ikevalko.
Take Rio.
Christian Ivanov.
Take Rio.
Jari Jarvanen.
Take Rio.
Michael Jewett.
Take Rio.
Daniel Kamenek.
Take Rio.
Amar Khan.
Take Rio.
Nazmal Khan.
Take Rio.
Johanna Kolarova.
Take Rio.
Anna MacDonald.
Take Rio.
Rory McFarlane.
Take Rio.
Samuel McKinnon.
Take Rio.
Joseph Meir.
Take Rio.
Maria Menova.
Take Rio.
Marvin Muka.
Take Rio.
Douglas Monroe.
Take Rio.
John Murdoch.
Take Rio.
Jacqueline Otto.
Take Rio.
Nicholas Park.
Take Rio.
Miranda Radley.
Take Rio.
Tuuli Ratu.
Take Rio.
Rachel Reid.
Take Rio.
Jethro Rolland.
Take Rio.
Ewan Ross.
Take Rio.
Veronica Salanitro.
Take Rio.
Tillman Schneider.
Take Rio.
Jill Sinclair.
Take Rio.
Oscar Smith.
Take Rio.
Connor Stewart.
Take Rio.
Kieran Stewart.
Take Rio.
Mark Sweeney.
Take Rio.
Romina Vateva.
Take Rio.
Robert Walker.
Take Rio.
Zachary White.
Take Rio.
Victoria Erickson.
Take Rio.
Coral Gray.
Take Rio.
Helen Nicholson.
Take Rio.
Amy Strachan.
Take Rio.
Amanda Adams.
Take Rio.
Zach Hardy.
Take Rio.
Caitlin Mackay.
Take Rio. Don't go anywhere.
Sarah McVeigh.
Take Rio.
Sarah McWilliam.
Take Rio.
Danielle Mitchell.
Take Rio.
Shelley Robertson.
Take Rio. Dr. Stone,
Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, Rector, the two-thirds of the audience who are parents like me, and the one-third of the audience who are fellow graduates. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk today. Anne-Michelle mentioned that I graduated last time, only other time, in 1979. At that graduation ceremony, I have absolutely no memory of who gave the graduation speech, and I cannot remember a single word that that person, male or female, said. Now, I mention that today for two reasons. First of all, to lower the bar right at the beginning of your expectations. But secondly, to sort of make you aware of the sort of problem I have. What's the purpose of the speech? Well, I could have looked to the university for guidance. A few weeks ago, the university sent me a letter saying they were minded to offer me an honorary degree. And then a couple of weeks later, they sent me another letter saying, would you mind giving the graduation speech? They said, you can talk about anything you like, for any length you like. And that was the sole guidance. A little bit like if you went into your final exam, you opened the paper and it said, write anything you like about any subject in whatever style to answer whatever question for as long as you like. Not very helpful. So I did what you probably would have done. I turned to the internet. And if you search the internet for graduation speeches, you will find thousands of them. They fell into two or three sort of buckets, cohorts. The first cohort of graduation speeches was what I'll call looking out at the world now, a sort of state of the nation set of comments. Brexit, independence, Westminster, the Aberdeenshire businessman who is now President of the United States of America. That's a joke I stole from the principal last night. There's a very, very long list of pundits who have made themselves look very foolish by talking about these things. I have no intention of joining that long list, so that didn't really help me too much. If the first bucket or cohort of graduation speeches were looking out at the world now, the second cohort of graduation speeches were looking back at my world then. What were the life lessons I had learnt? What did I wish I had known 30-something years ago when I first graduated? Well, look around this room. Two-thirds of the audience are your parents. They've spent 20 years trying to tell you life lessons. You have singularly failed to listen to any of them. I hardly think you're going to start listening to me, whom in the loosest possible sense you have known for less than 1 hour. So parents, you're back on the hook. You're not getting any life lessons from me today. The third bucket or cohort of graduation speeches were looking out at your world going forward. If you think of it a different way, it's a sort of narrative of change and the fact that change is accelerating wherever you look. I don't deny that. I don't deny the narrative of change. But I don't think that's the right narrative for a graduation, because it was ever thus. Nothing in that sense has changed. You were born into the internet age. I was born into a black and white television age. My grandparents, who were born at the turn of the last but one century, would be as amazed by and challenged by the black and white television age I was born into as I might be in the internet age you were born into. So change is a question or an issue of perspective. Think about change. Think about change as a thunder and lightning storm. If you look at change in the past, it is like looking at an enormous thunder and lightning storm on the distant horizon. The sounds are muffled, the flashes of lightning are dimmed. Through a glass darkly, you can discern something of enormous power happening, but it is a long, long way away. But if you're in change today, your perspective changes. You are in the eye of the storm of that change. This isn't something you look at through a glass darkly. It reminds me of a question my son, from about the age of 4 to 14, asked me, which would you rather be killed by, a crocodile or a shark? It's a pretty ridiculous, redundant question. Is the information revolution bigger for society? Will it change it more than the Industrial Revolution did, or the Agrarian Revolution before it? Will driverless cars transform our cities and our societies more than trains did? Will the migration we see today across the Mediterranean have bigger impacts on our society than the migration we saw not that many generations ago from the old world to the new world? Will the demographic challenges which so dominate our thinking today of an older population, will they turn out to be bigger, harder to solve than the demographic challenges not that long ago of a young population? I don't know the answer to these questions. They're all very good and very, very fair questions. But this university has been grappling with the questions of change ever since this university came into existence. And it will be grappling with the issues of change long after we have left this existence. So the internet wasn't really very helpful. It's not a very good day when plagiarizing the internet doesn't help you prepare a speech for graduation. There's a certain irony for that. So I sort of went back to basics. I started out my opening sentence acknowledging there were, in a sense, two audiences here today. And there's the two-thirds of this audience who are the parents. There's the one-third of this audience who are the students, the graduates, not the students. There's actually a third audience. Thanks to live streaming, my 4 children, 2 of whom have graduated, 2 of whom will graduate in the next few years. So I thought, what would I like to say to them? The greatest gift you will get from a university, in my opinion, is not knowledge. The greatest gift you'll get from a university going forward is the capacity to think. Now, of course, in a university, in this setting, these two go hand in hand, in like the interminglable, non-separatable strands of DNA. You cannot have the one without the other. That is at the heart and the soul of what a university is. But let me ask you the question. If you could leave university with only one, an abundance of knowledge or the ability to think, which one would you ask for? Okay, that's a slightly ridiculous extreme. You're going to leave university with both. Let's rephrase it. Let's make it slightly more real world. You can leave university with an A+ in one or a C- in the other. I would challenge you that the most important thing you will leave this university with, the most important thing my children will leave their universities with, is that ability to think. And that is particularly true because of the change I alluded to. Change degrades knowledge. Change nurtures and feeds thinking. In a steady state world of equilibrium, knowledge is the currency which is at the greatest premium. But in a world of instability, in a world of change which we can struggle to comprehend, it is that ability to think which is the most important capacity. I studied law. I never wanted to be a lawyer. If I had my time again, I would study law, and I would not be a lawyer. It wasn't the facts of law which I left this university with. It happened to be that law was a training in thinking which lent itself to the way I work. I hope every one of you have found that same discipline in what you've learned to think. But as a quick aside, last night I met, perchance, one of my professors, Professor McCormack, who taught me Roman law in my first year. Roman law, what I know factually about Roman law could be written on the back of a postage stamp today and leave plenty of spare room for my signature. But the principles of thinking of Roman law are with me to this day. Now, Professor McCormack is today a world authority on Chinese law. The second professor I had was Professor Lyle. He taught me public law. Today, Professor Lyle has written the definitive book on space law. Now, is that the triumph of knowledge, or is that the triumph of thinking? That ability to adapt. If 30-something years ago someone had said to me, my professors would be world authorities on Chinese law and space law, I really would have wondered what planet we were living on. So, what I would say to my children is, the greatest gift you can get out of university is that ability to think which you take out into the world. But there's another gift too. And that is a gift within you to grow. We touched on it in the opening speech earlier in this afternoon's ceremony. If you think about the person you were when you came to this university 4 years ago, and think about the person you are today, think about the interests you have acquired, the passions you have discovered, the courses you have started, no doubt the courses some of which you have stopped and given up, the friends you have made, the ambitions you discovered. I defy anyone to tell me that after 4 years at university you are the same person who entered these halls. You've made more decisions in 4 years than you made in the previous 18 of your life, by a significant factor. Now, some of those decisions will have been good decisions. Some of those decisions may have been bad decisions. The 2/3 of the audience who are the parents are sitting here willing they were more of the former than the latter, but for the purposes of today, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter was it was your decisions. You made them, you were able to make them, and you took responsibility for them. That is transforming. But you didn't do it in a vacuum. This is a beautiful building, but the building is the least important part of a university. It's a lovely part, but it's the least important. It is the people. It is the fellow students, the staff, the professors, the tutors, the assistants, the myriad ranks of people at this university who make learning, who make thinking part of your day-to-day life. You have been challenged. It's not just people, it's a culture. You've been challenged to be open. You've been challenged to be collegiate. You've been challenged to work in teams. You've been challenged to cross cultures. You have been challenged to think in places and in ways that you never dreamt possible 4 years ago. You will leave here, and that is not the end of a process. That is the start of a process. In the world you go into now, some of you will end up in cities you've never been to. Some of you will end up in countries you've never been to. You will all end up working with cultures you have never had any contact with. Some of you may end up living in and working in continents which at the minute you can only dream about. And what the university has given you is the stepping stone, the foundation course in how to navigate that world. I started by saying that I graduated in 1979 and I have absolutely no memory of what was said at my graduation speech. But I do remember something many of you will do in the next few days. I remember leaving Aberdeen. I remember it was a beautiful summer day, driving down to London, feeling that that was when the next part of my life commenced. Now, we call this a graduation speech. Our American cousins call this a commencement address. There's a slight subtle difference here. A graduation speech is slightly looking back. A commencement address is very much looking forward. On this one occasion, I think our American cousins may have got it right. So on behalf of the 2/3 of the audience, who are your parents, can I say how proud we are of you? On behalf of the 1/3 of the audience, who are fellow graduates and who will, well, probably like to say to their parents, thank you very much, but never quite get round to doing it, I'm going to do it on your behalf. You couldn't have done it without the support and the nurturing and the encouragement of your family and of your parents. As you leave this university, you go to commence the most exciting part of your life. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Dr. Stein. And now, friends, will you stand and join me in singing God Save the Queen? The Reverend, the Chaplain to the University.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.